working the backside of Terry McCarl.
He's 9th. Hodgshield all the way up to 9th. Terry McCarl in the 24. A local favorite here. Runs Knoxville Speedway every Saturday night.
Bobby Davis Jr. just in front of them in the red number 4, and then Hillenberg. Look at McCarl in the bottom, the wild child upstairs. Traffic, a big problem now for the leaders. Dave Blaney is up to 5th. Remember, he started 22nd. And Steve works that high ground, and that fence line is getting closer. Every time he goes into the corners, Dick, he's pushing more and more of that cushion away.
And there's not much cushion left to push away either. It's interesting that Mark Kinzer has stayed at the bottom all the way through this race. Steve has stayed on top all the way through this race.
Closing in on the halfway mark, working lap number 12.
Oh, they got awful close there. Steve just got up a little bit too high and lost a little bit of ground on Mark.
Ed Lynch Jr. goes down a lap now as Mark Kinzer works that working car through. There's Steve Kinzer's crew chief.
Scott Gerken, the shorter of the two men. Steve Kinzer in that green number 11 running high. The white car just went out of your screen. Mark Kinzer. The black 2 is Ed Lynch. He's down a lap. He's not in this thing.
It's Mark Kinzer, Steve Kinzer, Sammy Swindell, Danny Lasowski, Dave Blaney, Jeff Swindell, Andy Hillenberg, Jack Hodgshield, Bobby Davis, and Terry McCarl, your top 10. The Master working his way around this Knoxville half mile. There's a look at that Maxim chassis of Mark Kinzer's working perfectly. We are halfway as Mark Kinzer goes to work on Johnny Herrera, trying to get through lap traffic. That could hang him up because you see Steve is on the charge.
What a neat race.
Danny Lasowski now drops back to 6th as Dave Blaney and Jeff Swindell move up, and you look at the speed shot. Now, Carl Kinzer had made some changes to some bars yesterday that really worked, and here comes Steve Kinzer.
He's got him. He's got him, or has he got him? Whoa!
They wheels right there, and Mark Kinzer is not about to bow down to his cousin, the King, just yet.
Look at this, all over each other. For $100,000, Mark Kinzer on the bottom, Steve Kinzer up top. Lap after lap, they're going at it.
The Kinzer clan is going to war at Knoxville, and you're seeing it all live on TNN.
And Steve's got him. Steve Kinzer has got him.
Can he hang on, or did he choose too soft of a compound tire?
Well, Steve is checking out, I'll tell you what, and Mark Kinzer behind him has just decided he's going to try that high line, see if he can catch Steve. If he can, it'll be something of a miracle once Steve Kinzer gets out front at Knoxville. He is so tough.
Dave Blaney is up to 3rd, and Jeff Swindell is right with him. They both came out of the B. They're running 3rd and 4th after starting 21st and 22nd. Incredible. And that cushion, Dick, is about a half a foot off the fence line.
Oh, it's gone. Make any mistake at all, the right rear tire is in that fence. The right rear tire would be history if you hit that fence at these kinds of speeds. They're running wide open. Nobody's backing off the throttle at all for anything here at Knoxville.
Steve Kinzer is running about 150 miles an hour, wide open, never lifting here, and he is about a half a foot off of that fence line. Awesome control. Now they go to work on Keith Kaufman,
who is a lap down, or soon to be a lap down.
Look at that, as they exit off of turn 2 in front of the museum, he is right at the fence line. And there is a ridge right there.
Whoa, that was close. 10 to go.
There is a ridge right there as you come off the turns. It actually squares off, so you've got to pull it back in to avoid that fence. And here's that battle for 3rd. Dave Blaney and the vibrant back Casey Luna entry, working the cushion. Jeff Swindell, the Gold Eagle car, right in the center of the racetrack, trying to time it off the turns.
Ford versus Chevrolet. The number 10 is a Ford-powered car. Swindell in that black number 7, that's a Chevrolet-powered car. Steve Kinzer in the lead is another Chevrolet.
They've got to be getting tired, too, Dick. Those two have already put in 22 laps during the B-Main.
This is a very physically demanding racetrack. The race is short as such, but they are just literally throwing those cars around. Steve Kinzer now running the bottom, coming off the 4th corner.
He won the historical big one last week, and now Steve Kinser, as you go on board with Andy Hillenberg, is closing in on his 11th Knoxville Nationals title and his second $100,000 payday in 2 weeks. Jeff Swindell has passed Dave Blaney for third place.
And he is closing on Mark Kinser, who just went out of your screen on the right, who's running in second spot. Second, third, fourth, all right together.
That changes quickly with 5 to go now as Blaney retakes the lead, or the third position, I should say.
There's second, Mark Kinser in the white car. On the left of your screen, Blaney is right behind him. Blaney in the number 10, looking on the high side. Mark Kinser trying to protect the second spot. Both running high. Jeff Swindell in the black number 7 on the low side.
3 cars contesting second place as we get down to just a handful of laps in the 35th Annual Amoco Knoxville Nationals.
And this is just what Steve Kinser needed with all these guys racing with each other. All he has to do is race the track and check out.
Mark had run the bottom of the groove. Now he slides up to the fence line. That opens the bottom side for Jeff Swindell. He takes second place. Meanwhile, up front with 2 to go, smooth sailing for the Quaker State car and Steve Kinser. Terry McCarl just in front of him. Frankie Kerr goes a lap down to the 23. And you see Stevie Smith, the yellow wings of the Eco Water car.
Watching the best sprint car racers in the world, many of whom will tell you that the man who is in the lead right now is the best there has ever been. 1 lap to go for Steve Kinser.
How could you possibly argue that fact? Steve Kinser, the king of the kings when it comes to dirt track racing, is about to make $200,000 in 8 days. For the 11th time, Steve Kinser is the king of Knoxville.
Jeff Swindell grabs second spot.
Mark Kinser comes home third. Dave Blaney is fourth. The dude gets fifth. But Steve Kinser reigns again at Knoxville. When we come back, we'll talk to him. Stay with us. You saw it live on TNN. You know what? I don't care Steve Kinser's not in Winston Cup racing. I'm glad to have him back in sprint car racing because that was awesome, and I'm glad I got to see the king at Knoxville, Steve Evans.
I agree with you. I think God meant for this man to race on dirt. $200,000 in 2 weeks, but this one was special.
Well, I tell you, I didn't think we'd have a chance starting back there. We did, but I got on the top, run around there good. The bottom was good. I don't know. I'm just glad we won it. Everybody did a good job.
You covered about every square inch of this racetrack at one point or another.
Yeah, I was on the wall. I was everywhere. I ran all the way down the front stretch wall one time, but the car was working good. Mark had a good pace, and he had the line on me. I knew I could work different places if we ever got the lap cars, and it all worked out well. And I tell you, Scott and Sean did a good job. It's a good race team, and we're glad to win this one, especially back-to-back 2 in a row.
We're looking at the pass for the lead right now. Tell us about it.
Well, you know, I really don't know. I was working the top, and there just wasn't nothing out there coming off tube at the wall, but Mark got pinned into some cars on the bottom, and I got by him, and then I went back down under him and blocked the bottom off there because I was a little slow on the top there, but everything worked out good.
Any chance the Kinser family can get together for Thanksgiving?
I don't know about that.
I think you were right, Ralph.
Well, there he is, right at home where he should be. Steve Kinser. He was number 1. Here's a look at the full field rundown. The 35th Annual Amoco Knoxville Nationals. Steve Kinser, of course, was number 1, and right behind him, a hard-charging Jeff Swindell, who finished in second place. Mark Kinser comes home third. Blaney Lasowski slips back to 5th. I don't want to be frustrated about that. Sammy Swindell, he's got 6th. Andy Hillenberg, Bobby Davis, and Stevie Smith round out the top 10.
Terry McCarl was 11th, Frankie Kerr 12th, Dale Blaney 13th, Johnny Herrera finished 14th, Keith Kaufman, nice job, in 15th.
Back through there, you got Jerry Richard Jr., Randy Hannigan, Steve Beitler, Ed Lynch, and Steve Smith.
Back of the pack, Joey Saldana, Skip Jackson, Craig Delansky, who took that wild flip, and Lee Brewer, who was also involved in the accident.
Jack Hodenshield passed 40 cars total tonight as he worked his way up from the sea. Way to go, Hod. Hey, guess what? Next year, we're coming back to bring you the 36th Annual Amoco Knoxville Nationals live on TNN. For Dick Berggren, Steve Evans, Bob Gerald, and the tremendous crew who brought this all to you tonight. All our camera guys, the people down in the truck, they've been here all week, loving every minute of it, getting dirt all over our microphones. I'm Ralph Shaheen. We'll see Steve Kinzer back here live again. See you next year.
This is Tony Bachoven, the voice of the Knoxville Raceway, and the granddaddy of them all is getting closer. It's the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's. Tickets are available now by going to KnoxvilleRaceway.com. Order now and let's go racing!
Welcome to this special edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com live show. I'm Jeremy Elliott, joined by producer Eric, who's been instrumental in putting this all together. And we're here to do the first look at the qualifying nights for the Knoxville Nationals. We have the rosters. We're going to spend an hour on Wednesday and an hour on Thursday. We might have a driver or two enter the show just to talk to them, one from Wednesday, one from Thursday. And before we get started, Eric, I want to thank Knoxville Raceway, the World of Outlaws, and everybody else who's associated with this event and allowing us to do this.
Yeah, this was really, really fun to do. A big shout out to Knoxville for increasing my workload over these past couple of days by a tremendous amount, but it was very, very fun to put together. And just so everyone knows, and to make this a little more fun, we originally got these lists in numerical order, so you could sort of guess who would be coming up on the Sprint Car Unlimited Knoxville Raceway big board, I guess we'll call it.
Yep.
So what I did was I randomized the lists, so that way it's a bit of fun this evening as we go through the lists, as well as I have graphics for the World of Outlaws drivers, the high limit drivers, the Knoxville regulars, the wild card drivers, and then full field graphics at the end. So if you want to grab screenshots of any things, we do have those coming as well. But that's everything I have for my spiel. Jeremy, whenever you're ready, I'll start clicking on question marks here.
Well, we're going to get started real quick. We'll get to the chat as we can. I figure it'll take us about a half an hour to go through the roster, because we'll talk about some of the entries, and then we'll kind of break down each night for 15 minutes, have a driver on, and then get on to Thursday. So let's get started.
All right, let me pull up my window here. Of course, I literally just lost it as I needed it. Interact, here we go. All right, first up, we have Justin Henderson from South Dakota, a Knoxville regular.
Yeah, Justin Henderson is a guy who's in the McGee Motorsports car this year. He is someone who I think is formidable. I think it's a guy you have to watch. Has a lot of time at Knoxville. He's made the A main in the past. That car's fast. Ian Madsen is also on that crew, and I think they're going to be formidable.
Next up, we have Scotty Johnson from Molecular, Dallas, Iowa.
I believe is Knoxville regular, I believe.
I believe so as well. He wasn't listed as one on the spreadsheet we got, but I do believe he is a Knoxville regular as well.
Okay,
next
who else
up,
do we got?
Emerson Axum, Lord of Outlaws touring driver.
Yeah, he's a guy who's made 2A mains already in his very, very short career at Knoxville. He's finished 20th and 15th the last 2 years in the Knoxville Nationals A main. And a little extra, Jim Shuttlesworth's with that team now. We reported in our notebook today that Jim Shuttlesworth has been with the team over the last week. Had a good run at Weedsport where they finished 4th. Last night at Babs Motor Speedway, finished 9th. And he is planning to be there through the Knoxville Nationals. I think people remember, if they remember, Emerson Axum made it through the Hard Knocks program, I believe, as a rookie, and again, with Justin Henderson, a good start to the Wednesday roster.
Next up, we have Cade Higday from Knoxville. Up next, we have Cole Macedo, World of Outlaws touring driver.
Interesting thing about Higday, I believe he excels in the 360 ranks, moving up to the 410s for the Nationals. Cole Macedo could use a good run. Obviously, Wayne Johnson has a lot of laps around Knoxville. Cole, not as many, but at times they show speed. Could be a sleeper, which we'll give a sleeper at the end of for Wednesday at the end of our first hour, and also our picks. But Cole Macedo definitely could fit that sleeper role to punch his ticket to the A main.
Next up, we have Jace Park, Knoxville regular.
An interesting story since he's hooked up with Brian Brown. They kind of have that I would say a mentors program that he's part of. Brian Brown overseeing that team, and they've looked good in weekly action at Knoxville. So a guy you got to watch as well, who maybe before this we wouldn't have been talking about Jace Park very much. I think he's a guy who also could be that Cameron Martin or one of those, every year we have a guy who kind of shocks everybody and punches their ticket to Saturday's A main through a qualifying night. Jace Park could be that guy.
Next up, we have Chris Wyndham, World of Outlaw touring driver.
Yeah, again, he has laps there as well. USAC moved over to the 410 wing ranks. Could use a good Nationals, really hasn't excelled at the Nationals so far, so it'll be interesting to see how he does.
Next up, we have Danny Dietrich, a Pennsylvania Posse member, listed here as a wild card.
Didn't know if he was going to go out. They had some changes within the team, truck driver or whatnot. Wasn't sure if they were going to have somebody to drive the rig out there, but apparently they do. They ran the Kings Royal, did not have a good Kings Royal. Was the hard charger last night at Baps against the World of Outlaws. Needs to time better. It's going to, again, Dietrich, Knoxville's not his forte, so to speak. So he's definitely got an uphill battle out at the Marion County Fairgrounds.
Next up, we have Slammin' Sammy Swindell.
Well, if he wins a heat race, it'll definitely be colorful. It's funny how I remember the days where he was booed just with no mercy, and now he's a fan favorite.
Funny how time changes all.
Yeah.
Next up, we have James McFadden from Alice Springs, Australia, a wild card driver.
Yeah, the Tarleton racing team or Tarleton Motorsports team from the West Coast. They've been east, they've been in the Midwest, they're on the West Coast. They're all over the place this year, and now they'll be at the Knoxville Nationals with James McFadden, who has plenty of experience at Knoxville and could be a handful. He's fast. They'll have a Toyota motor, and he's made the 6 Nationals A mains in 13 starts, and his best finish was 7th in 2021. A lot of experience.
Next up, we have Tanner Holmes, a high limit regular. In fact, our first high limit regular of tonight.
Yeah, I'm curious did you just hit the randomizer on this?
I did.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Tanner Holmes, a lot of fans. It's got to qualify well. Racing has been a problem at times. It's got to qualify well. I think with these qualifying nights, we'll go into more of this later. I think that sweet spot is between 9th and 15th, somewhere in there where you get up a row in your heat race or something like, because I believe you have 6 heat races. I think I'm drawing a blank on the format now. That's terrible. But you have your heat races, and you want to move up a row. So I'm even that 12th to 18th range to make the transfer through your heat race into that qualifying night A main to get maximum points. So I think that's a sweet spot to be, and Holmes can certainly time there.
Next up, we have David Gravel, World of Outlaws regular.
I'd say this is our first big hitter and our first champion on our list. Wednesday has 3 former champions. Thursday, only 1. It's going to get in, I'll get into which night I think is deeper and which one I think is more top heavy and vice versa. But David Gravel, I think this is the year he gets out of his heat race and he's got a real shot to win the Knoxville Nationals A-Main. He's won it before. He was the 2019 champion. He's an 11-time A-Main qualifier. He's good at Knoxville. He times well. He had the perfect score. He was the last person to do that. I believe that was might have been 2018, 2017, 2018. Forget which one. But David Gravel's definitely going to be the guy to watch on Wednesday.
Next up, we have Joe Beaver, Knoxville.
Again, a rookie. This is, I believe, our first rookie on the list. Yes. There's 4 rookies each day as of now. Obviously, these are set, but they can be tweaked. And also, we could have some late entries. First rookie, Joe Beaver.
I feel like I need a Joe Beaver shirt in my sprint car collection.
Why not?
Just saying. Next up, Chase Dietz, member of the Pennsylvania Posse, considered here to be a wild card.
Chase has 18 wins. He leads the nation in wins. He beat the Outlaws last night at Baps Motor Speedway. He's on a tear. I think he's going to be, one of the favorites at Williams Grove this weekend. When he leaves the area, that's when the questions begin. Eldora, he made it on a provisional. He was set quick time. He started 19th in the Kings Royal A-Main, but hey, he made it. And I think the speeds there doesn't have many laps at Knoxville. He's not a newbie or a rookie by any stretch. He's competed in 2 Knoxville Nationals in his career. He's been there some other times. Had engine trouble earlier this year when he showed up for a World of Outlaws weekend. So Chase Dietz is definitely going to get some attention going into Knoxville. People, with the more you win, the more the expectations go up, and he's got to block it into the A-Main.
Next up, we have Kelby Watt, Knoxville regular.
He's traveled a little bit this year and has shown speed at times. So around Knoxville, he's pretty good. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's another guy who times well and is going to have to race his way through.
Next up, we have Jai Corbett, another rookie.
Second rookie on our list, and I think probably, in my mind, the favorite for Rookie of the Year. He's looked good in spot appearances at Huset's and some other tracks, and I think Knoxville, that car is really good, the Eikenberry machine. So I think he's easily the Rookie of the Year favorite, and I think he gets it done.
Someone make that note that's Jeremy's prediction for Knoxville Rookie of the Year. Next up, we have Darren Nida, another rookie.
I like Darren a lot. See him in Ohio. He loves the dry slick. I don't know how dry slick Knoxville is going to be on Wednesday night. Maybe not the right night for him. I think Thursday probably would have been better. Seems like it's a little more wide open on Thursdays. But Wednesday, I'm interested to see how he does at Knoxville. Again, runs mostly in Ohio, and he gets into Michigan. I think he had a good showing with High Limit earlier this year. So, but wish he was Thursday night instead of Wednesday.
Next up, we have Brady Bacon, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
How about that Brady Bacon? He was 15th a couple years ago, made the Knoxville Nationals A-Main in the 21H. I think his wing game, he's running more winged races than he has in probably ever. And while he was decent in a wing car, I think he's right now, this is the best he's been as with a wing over top of him. And I know right now he's running Indiana Sprint Week. He's doing well there. He's a guy you got to watch on Wednesday as well to sneak in and lock into that Saturday A-Main through his qualifying night.
Next up, we have Sheldon Heidenshield, World of Outlaws touring driver.
I think with the way he's been running this year, he's one of the favorites to win this year's Knoxville Nationals. Hasn't always been good at the Nationals. Knoxville kind of hit or miss for Sheldon. He's a 7-time A-main qualifier, but he has 6 straight top 10 finishes, but not top 5s. And I think this year with KCP Racing, Morrison Engines, Maxims, and of course he has Ripper in his corner, I think this year they get to the top 5.
Next up, we have Rico Abreu, high limit touring driver.
What can you say about Rico? This is a place that he is dear to his heart, just like Eldora. He wants a crown jewel for Ricky Warner. I know he's pushing himself toward that. He's been close before. I believe he was second a year ago. He's qualified for 9 straight Knoxville Nationals A-mains. This night, to me, is loaded with guys who you look at as the favorites to win the whole thing. David Gravel, Rico Abreu, Sheldon Hanschild, and maybe a couple more in here as well. But it's a stacked field, and for Rico, it's getting through that heat race, which is critical. Where you time and then getting through that heat race, and just if you can do that, you're probably going to get enough points to lock into Saturday night. You don't really want to come through the B main on Wednesday night and hope at that point. So Rico, you want to start in the top, probably 6 on Saturday night. So this is imperative for Rico to set up his week.
Next up, we have Brock Zierfoss, a newly added high-limit touring driver.
17 GP, hasn't had a lot of starts in this car, but it seems like, he has a few top 10s already. I think it's taken some of the stress off his family team. He doesn't have to worry about that, and I think he can just focus on driving.
Next up, we have Landon Crawley, Benton, Arkansas.
Times well. We saw that when he first was with the 7S, the Jason Sides machine at Volusia, set quick time. So definitely a guy to watch in time trials.
Next up, we have Ashton Torgerson, World of Outlaws touring driver.
Yeah, he's shown speed at times, but they're still struggling. And going to Knoxville on a Wednesday night with this field, I mean, good luck. It's tough. But Torgerson can turn some good laps there. And I'm anxious to see how he does under the Knoxville National lights. He's not a rookie, but that being said, the car he's in, still trying to get accustomed to each other, I think, and need some quality finishes.
Next up, we have Joel Myers Jr., Santa Rosa, California.
He's looked good when he's shown up at the track in the Midwest, obviously with Power Eye and some IRA stuff. Definitely a step up in competition. We'll see how that goes.
And our final one on Wednesday, big board number 1, Jamie Ball, Knoxville regular.
Knoxville veteran. Say veteran. He's run, I believe he ran 360s. He'll has a lot of laps at Knoxville. Hasn't been too good the last couple of years. We'll see if he picks up the pace in 2026.
Before we switch over to Wednesday board number 2, I'm going to quickly turn my camera off because a little peek behind the curtain. I need to make sure I have them back to question marks because I tested all of these graphics and I quickly made some more graphics during the 1995 Knoxville Nationals. So I'm going to turn my camera off real quickly just to make sure the rest of my graphics are ready, and we are going to pick up night 2. 1 second, guys. And sorry.
Yeah, we'll pick up the rest of night 1. Yeah, we only have, like I said earlier, we only have four returning champions, and 3 of them go Wednesday night. So that kind of surprised me a little bit, but certain guys also like running certain nights, and how that format works and how they decide. I think it gets to a point where they, like now, if you register now, you're going to Thursday because Thursday's a little lighter as far as numbers. I think it's off by about 5. I think there's 49 on Wednesday. And what did we count? 43 or 44 on Thursday.
Yeah.
So you want to get your entry in early and so you can pick your night.
All right, graphics are good for the rest of the show. So let's go ahead and continue on with Wednesday part 2. Next up on our list, we have Jack Anderson from Newton, Iowa.
He impressed at times in the Knoxville Nationals last year. I'm assuming he'll be in his own car, 17A. Was injured earlier this year. Seems like he's back on track, and I'm anxious to see if he can. He was really fast in the B main last year, or last chance showdown, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it a B main, and see how he does this year.
Next up, we have Cy Lynch, high limit touring driver.
Qualifies well. I mean, it's simple as that. It was good again at Eldora in qualifying. Just got to race better.
Next up, we have Justin Peck, high limit touring driver.
Here's a guy who's, I would say, underrated at Knoxville. He's made the Knoxville Nationals A main on 5 of 6 attempts. And I think we remember he had a crash where he got over the wheel of Sheldon Hodenschuler. He would have sat on the pole for a Knoxville Nationals. Definitely a guy to watch. Last year he made it with the Ford. Now they have Chevys. A guy who I wouldn't be surprised if he was top 5 in points.
Next up, we have Reese Moran, rookie out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Another rookie, and I think this is the guy Jai Corbett's going to be neck and neck with for Rookie of the Year honors. Reese Moran looked good during I think it was a weekly show earlier this year. And if he can maintain that pace, maybe he can knock Corbett off. I still have Corbett, but Reese Moran, I think, is the next worthy competitor.
Reese Moran's my pick. Let's go, Reese. All right. Next up, we have Logan Julian from, I can't pronounce that name, Wisconsin.
I'm trying. I'm not even going to try either. IRA guy. They think a lot of him up there, and he's gotten some attention this year, and now he's going to be on the biggest stage.
Akanamawamak. There's my one try at that.
You know what? Name. Okay.
Next up, we have Roger Crockett, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
It's a Knoxville Nationals A main start, I believe, and it's always interesting to see him come back to Knoxville. Not really sure on the car he's in. I didn't research that yet. Didn't get that far, but Roger Crockett, good to see him back.
Next up, we have Danny Sams III, Northport, Florida, high limit touring driver.
Been a little bit of a struggle for Sams this year. I thought he could build on last year's strong finish where he won at Bridgeport. I know it was rain shortened, but I thought he could build on that. It's been a struggle, and now he's going to go to Knoxville where the field is stacked, especially on a Wednesday.
Next up, we have Christopher Thram from Minnesota. Knoxville.
Christopher Thram, good at Huset's, was impressive at times at Huset's this year. I think he's a guy who can make some noise. Locking into the A main, he's another one that I think could fall into that guy you didn't expect to make the Nationals A main, but he locks it in the show.
That's the second butchered pronunciation within like 2 minutes. So let's hope we pick up the pace on that.
Well, the other one was the Wisconsin thing. Come on.
Next up is, an easy one for me. RJ Johnson out of Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, RJ back in the seat. Good to have him back.
Next up, we have Linton Jeffrey, Prairie City, Iowa.
Another guy who qualifies well. It always seems to get around Knoxville really quick in qualifying. Just locking in through that heat race is the toughest part.
Next up, we have Sam Haferteep Jr. from Sunnyvale, Texas.
Last I checked, he was still leading the ASCS points. He's still looking for that elusive 360 Nationals. And now he's going to also run the 410. So carrying the ASCS banner.
Next up, we have to be announced from Bill Rose Racing, a not World of Outlaws regular, but a World of Outlaws regular car.
Yeah, I'm not sure who he's going to put in that. Talking to Dylan Cisney last night, I know Dylan is open to it. I just don't know. Rose kind of does things week to week, so I have no idea who he's going to put in that car as of now.
Let the speculation begin. Next
Yes.
up, we have Ryan Timms, Knoxville regular, last year's Knoxville Nationals champion.
Yeah, and he's won 7 times at Knoxville this year between the 360 and the 410 division. Again, another champion to join David Gravel in the Wednesday roster. It's going to be a handful. I think it's very favorable for him to defend his title from last year. Hasn't been good in World of Outlaws or sanctioned events. The first weekend of the year he was, but after that he wasn't. So, but he's, trust me, that car's been fast ever since that. I think he finished 15th in the last World of Outlaws event, but I don't think he's lost since then. So definitely, if you're looking at the list of favorites, he's right at the top with David Gravel and a couple of the other guys.
Next up, we have Riley Goodnow, Knoxville, Iowa.
Riley, if you're looking at the Corey Neshaw pool, could be a sneaky pick down in the lower divisions or the lower groups.
Next up, we have Kerry Madsen, high limit touring driver.
A lot of years at Knoxville. He's finished on the podium at Knoxville. He's a guy who has 4 top 5s in 27 starts, 6 top 10s, a lot of experience, times well. If he could get through that heat race, I can see him locking in.
Next up, we have Matt Covington. Oh, you okay?
Of course we have it. There you go.
Matt Covington from Glenpool, Oklahoma.
We have a technical issue already?
No, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. You're good.
Okay. Matt Covington, Glenpool, Oklahoma.
He's the one challenging. He's challenging Sam Haferteep in the ASCS standings. Now he takes the step up to the 410s.
Next up, we have Hank Davis, Sand Springs, Oklahoma.
He's in the 2KS, moved over from the 17 GP when they parted ways. I think he has talent. I just think he needs to stay someplace and kind of build something with one team. I think if he can do that, maybe the 2KS, I think he can be fast. I don't know if this is the place to do it, but I'd like to see him stay in one car, in one situation, because I think he's a talented driver.
Next up, we have Sawyer Phillips.
We have well, we're not going to release when Tasker is just yet, but he's one half of that crew and always interesting at Knoxville.
Next up, we have Corey Day, wild card driver, Clovis, California.
Not only a wild card driver, a guy who can win the whole thing. Corey Day is really good at Knoxville. He's shown that in his starts. He's run 4 Knoxville Nationals. He's qualified for 3 of them. He's 12th, 3rd, and 6th in those events. Corey Day when you say wild card, I think he could either not make the A main, but I think he could win it. I think it all depends. And if they get through that qualifying night, he's going to be a handful on Saturday.
Next up, we have Rodney Hubbard, Wembley, Texas, another rookie.
Oh, Huband, the rookie. I think he's going to be chasing Jai Corbett and Reese Moran.
Oh, I lost my interact button. 1 second. Here we go. We're back. Next up, we have Austin McCarl, Knoxville regular.
Sat on the pole in 2022. Took my money from me for the pole award. He's made it 4 times in 15 starts. Obviously has a lot of laps around Knoxville. And times well. Always seems to time well, and he's kind of hanging around in the heat race. Don't be surprised if he locks it in the A main as well.
Next up, we have the Bob Weichert Memorial winner, high limit regular, Giovanni Selzi, Fresno, California.
And we can say now we'll have Gio on the show in about 15 minutes, just for a quick chat about the Wednesday program. Gio's coming on. looked good at the Bob Weicker Memorial. He's only 36 points out of first in the high limit standings. It comes into Knoxville on a hot streak, so to speak. I'm sure he's going to run there this weekend, just get more laps and build something with Eric Prutzman. It seems like they're finding speed at the right time. He's good at Knoxville. He's another one who has a podium run in the Knoxville Nationals A main. So I'm not counting Gio out of you. I'm not counting Gio out either.
Next up, we have Casey Kane from Emmenquah, Washington.
Well, this tells me who you have last, and I can't help but think you plan it that way. Casey Kane ran IRA. He's back in the seat and then heads to Knoxville.
Believe it or not, I did not plan it this way. So a big shout out to the randomizer. And it's fun that we know who's last, but no one else knows who's last. That's kind of fun.
I think people know.
Last but most certainly not least, Donnie Schatz, World of Outlaws touring driver.
11-time Knoxville Nationals winner. That's all you really need to say for Donnie. Last 2 years, he's finished 13th and 11th. I think the key for him is qualifying. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a different motor in by the Knoxville Nationals. We'll see. Not guaranteeing that. It's all about qualifying. Obviously, he can pass cars there. We know that. It's all about qualifying. If they can qualify well, maybe catch an early pill, which he seems to not do that often, at least since I've been going out. He can be dangerous on Wednesday.
All righty. So now let me go ahead and pop up the full field for Wednesday night at the Knoxville Nationals.
Yeah, I think this field is, I struggle every year with which night is better or deeper or which is the toughest night, which is good because that means they've done a good job with this split. I do, however, think the winner this year is coming out of the Wednesday field. I think David Gravel is my pick to win the Knoxville Nationals this year. I'm not backing off that. And I think Ryan Timms being in there and Rico Abreu and Sheldon, you got 4 guys there who are probably on that favorites list. And for them to all go Wednesday night, that's a handful. And I think you have some guys behind them who can make some noise. Justin Peck, Brady Bacon, Emerson Axum, who again has made it each of the first 2 years he's tried to run, that he has attempted to Knoxville Nationals. I think, as I said, Justin Peck's a guy who locked in 5 out of 6 times quietly. I don't think people associate Justin Peck with being really good at Knoxville, but he is. Time's decent, gets through his heat race. They seem to race well. So he's a guy to watch. I think Wednesday could be the night that locks in the most guys. And I think it's deeper this year than last year even. And I'm really interested to see how the track is because I think when you look at track surface for Wednesday night, it's usually wetter. It's the first night of the week. And sometimes it's narrow or it's been hasn't gotten as wide as say Thursday will. And I think I'm curious to see why Gio chooses Wednesday over Thursday when we get him on the phone.
Let me go ahead and bring our pitchers back. Whenever you would like me to call him, I can put myself on mute and give him a call.
Well, let's get some chat stuff going.
I feel like the chat's probably going to go over our faces because I didn't make chat.
That's fine. They don't need to see my face.
I apologize in advance. Let's see here. Hey, Jeremy, notice that Macri is entered for the 360 Natties. Is that because he hasn't been at Knoxville this year? Definitely could use that track time.
Yeah, I talked to him last night, and he is entered in the 360 Nationals, and yes, it's to get track time. And he could win that. I think he already has a 5th place finish at during the Knoxville Nationals a couple of years ago. And he needs track time. He was injured when they were planning to come out. Now, the car's been there with Casey Kane, and I'm sure Macri was there, but obviously being in the seat's a big difference.
Let's see here. How did you and I get together?
Okay, that's I didn't expect that question. Eric actually reached out to me and we talked and we decided let's do he has producing knowledge that I don't, technology knowledge that I don't, which doesn't take a lot, and he does a good job. So he just reached out to me, inquired about helping out, and here we are.
This is a cool deal. I agree. This is a lot of fun for us as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is our first year doing it, so it was funny in our pre-game, so to speak. We were talking about things to do next year already if they allow us to do it. If we don't screw up too bad, just some graphic stuff. And the more you do something like this, the better you get at it. That's just the way it is.
Elbows Up wanted to very much clarify that they have not stopped booing Sammy. So
it seems to me everybody cheers him now. It's kind of like that Darrell Waltrip thing where, they get older, they don't win as much, and then people start, we want to see him win again, and it gets nostalgic more so that it takes over the hatred toward the driver.
Yeah,
and I call it the Darrell Waltrip effect.
Hey, Jeremy and Eric checking in from North Carolina. Your prediction for the track condition come Saturday night's Main?
Well, I think it's weather dependent, obviously. I think it'll be fine. Saturday's usually pretty good. I'm concerned more about Wednesday. It seems that's the night where it's a little narrow, a little wetter, which makes it difficult with that 8 inversion in the heat races. Makes it more difficult. So that's where I get a little leery. So Saturday, not worried about that. Wednesday, I am.
We're going to go back to back here from Dirt Court Jesters. They both completely agree with it being called the B Main, and they also agree with your Justin Peck analysis.
Sneaky good at Knoxville. No other way to say it. I mean, you qualified 5 out of 6 years, almost put it in the poll if he wouldn't have gotten over the wheel of Sheldon. Hard flip, nasty flip. But Justin Peck, even this year, I know at times they haven't been fast, but it seems like they're getting better. And I could see them coming into the Nationals on a little bit of a high and punching their ticket to a 6th A Main.
Does anyone know if Lethal Lee was wrenching on a car last night?
I was actually talking to him up on the observation deck about cats. He has 3. He has 2 indoor cats. He's consulting with some teams. So yes, he was at Babs Motor Speedway last night. He was helping Skylar G at one point. Sorry, my voice is weird.
Same thing. Regular chatter Dick Jones calling my shots. I like that. Donnie gets a top 5 at the Knoxville Nationals on Saturday night.
He's got to time better on his qualifying night. He's got to put himself in position. I don't like him digging out of a big hole on Saturday night.
Members of the posse will like this next question. Does Double D, Dietz, or Macri lock in to the show?
I think Dietz and Macri obviously are favorites to do that. Danny just doesn't time well. And that's a big concern. So I think he's got an uphill battle. If they can find some speed in qualifying, sure, he races decent. Dietz, I think Dietz and Macri both get in. Now, again, I would rather have, if I'm looking at it from their perspective, I'd rather be on Thursday. But there's some points out there Wednesday. I think they can do some damage. Yes, I think both can lock in.
Who do you think will win on Wednesday night?
I think it's a David Gravel just this year. I have David Saturday. I think Tim's wins Wednesday.
Braden asks us if we can hurry the hell up.
He must be out eating with Carson.
Let's see here. I think all these Wednesday guys better hope the race goes off Saturday as planned. Otherwise, the best guy at the Nationals of late will be there.
He could be going Thursday. Just saying.
Rick always enjoys our live shows. Thank you very much for that, Rick.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully the narrative of can Larson stay, is it raining in Richmond, etc. doesn't dilute the Nationals like it had Indy in 2024 and 2025.
I don't think it will. I think we'll be fine. I think it'll be a topic, obviously, but I don't think it's going to be a major topic. He's either going to be able to do it or he's not. And Richmond being at night doesn't help it.
I'm a NASCAR fan, and I wish Larson would pick Knoxville personally.
He's not going to do that. I mean, there's like 7 million reasons not to.
Yeah, exactly. Raymond, Chase Dietz is going to steal the show. Posse will go 2 for 2 on Crown Jewels for the year.
Okay, I like what Chase Dietz is doing this year, but that's bold. That is bold cotton. No. I mean, with all due respect, again, great year. Let's have him make the A main first. Okay, that should be the goal.
I think Pennsylvania would lift off the map if Chase Dietz won the Knoxville Nationals.
I think if any Pennsylvania car would win the Nationals, I think it'd be bigger than the Kings Royal.
Yeah,
for that matter.
Will Brian Brown qualify for the Nationals this year?
I will address that accordingly, probably next.
And on the counterpoint, Dietz doesn't even make the A on Saturday. Ooh. Hot take, he will be in a C lane.
All right. Well, there's that.
That is spicy.
That is spicy.
How does Chase Randall do?
I'll talk about it probably in the next hour.
Macri back-to-back, Tim's back-to-back.
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I have David Gravel winning this thing. I just think he's going to get through his heat race at some point without any problems. And I think when that happens, he's going to start up front, and it's going to be tough beating him. But if anybody can, it's Tim's.
And that's actually all we have for chat comments at this very moment.
Well, I think we'll have a driver. Go get our driver for this segment.
All right, let me put myself on mute, and I will be right back.
I'll talk a little more about the order here. You know, I think we talked about Gio, Corey Day, Chase Dietz, McFadden. I think the split usually falls. You get a 9-7, 10-6, on occasion 11-5, depending on track conditions, where if guys can't pass, then it becomes a problem. And that's my concern with Wednesday. Knoxville does a great job with track prep, but you're trying to prep for 4 days and you have to look ahead. I'm really surprised some of the guys who choose Wednesday don't switch to Thursday, especially when they've had maybe not so good luck on a Wednesday or something like that. But it seems like Donnie Schatz always runs on Wednesday. David Gravel always runs Wednesday. We're gonna ask Gio about that because I think he always runs on Wednesday as well. I'm kind of curious why, because it is a little more narrow and it doesn't lend itself. Those heat races, those are critical. You got to get into the top 4 to make the A main. You back, Eric? Nope, not yet. And again, I said about sleepers. I think a sleeper is Jace Park. In fact, I'm going to take him as my sleeper for the whole Knoxville Nationals. I said I'd talk about it later, but filling a little bit of time. I think Jace Park with that mentorship program with Brian Brown, they've had speed at Knoxville this year, and I think he can do some damage on Wednesday night. Joining us on the phone is Gio Selzy, coming off a $100,000 score in the Bob Weicker Memorial at Port Royal. Gio, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Not as good as you. I could ask you for a loan, but
now's the time to do it before I spend it.
So, Gio, thank you for coming on. We won't keep you long, but Wednesday night, why Wednesday? It's usually a little more narrow. It's wetter. What makes you guys choose Wednesday, or is that not something that even falls in your responsibilities?
I think a little bit of it is I've always gone Wednesday. The first time I went Thursday was last year with the 7BC, and they kind of already had their night picked out the way they want to split up the NOS cars. Yeah, and I feel like a big thing for me personally is going Wednesday. You get to kind of set a benchmark. In the past, I feel like Thursday has probably earned more points than Wednesday just because the track does get wider. But knock on wood, you lock in through Wednesday either to the A main or the front of the B main, and you get 2 days off, Thursday and Friday to watch Thursday and Friday and kind of see what the track does throughout the week.
Is it also a case, too, if unfortunately something does go wrong on Wednesday, you have an extra day in between before you go into Hard Knocks?
A little bit. Again, knock on wood, I've never had to race on Friday. So, Friday doesn't even exist in my mind going into the Nationals. It's either get in Wednesday or nothing. So, I don't know. I feel like, the nights are split up pretty evenly. And normally you have bigger movers on Thursday and heat races just because the track does seem to widen out more with that many more laps on it. But Wednesday's my night.
You've been good at Knoxville in the Nationals in the past. Maybe not even as good when you just go there out of the blue for a regular show, but Nationals comes around, you show up big. What is it about that stage? What is it about that track that seems to suit you that week?
It's my favorite track in the country, in the world, really. And I live in Des Moines, so it's a little bit of a home race for me. I feel like a huge advantage is being able to go home every night. Not having to live in a camper for the week or 2 weeks if you race 360, and being able to just kind of decompress a bit and sleep in your own bed and not have to take camper showers or shower house showers all week.
You've qualified for, I think, 7 straight A mains there, and you're still young yet. You haven't even hit 30. So the Nationals, how tough is this Wednesday field? I know you've seen it probably. Do you think it's a tougher night? And what kind of you have to do to get through a field like this? What's kind of the game plan?
I genuinely haven't even looked at it, but I feel like the Nationals format is so unique. You really, there's 10 to 15 guys that could win either night, right? So the big heat race inverts really mixes up heat races. You could have a completely stacked heat race all the way through, or have an easier heat race and one you can kind of mow through. So I would say the heat race on your prelim night is without question the most stressful time of the whole weekend. I feel like whether you qualify quick time or whether you qualify 30th, you have to make it through a heat race and put yourself in position. Obviously, if you're quick time, you're going to be in the pool of the B main if you don't make it, and you can kind of march through that field and get some points back. But I feel like I've qualified anywhere from 25th to second and have been able to get through a heat race and have a decent finish on the prelim night. So points are everything. It's obviously a pretty stressful time there on Thursday night, seeing if you locked in, if you are in that 7th, 8th spot in points on your prelim and just kind of see where you stack up.
You were second in 2024, I believe, and you had a shot at it. I know you were kind of devastated after the one. You thought you had a really good car, and it was just nerves. You dropped back a little bit, came forward. Do you still have that when you roll in there for your qualifying night?
Nerves?
Yep, just kind of the unsettledness and or do you even need that at this point to perform well? I know some athletes they say they need to be.
I can tell you every single race I've ever run in my entire life, whether it's a local show, Knoxville Nationals, Kings Royal, whatever it is, I'm ready to throw up before I get in the car. Obviously that you got me? Sorry.
We still got you, Gio. Jeremy had a little bit of lag there, so you're still good. Jeremy will be back with us here in just a second.
No worries.
Our technical difficulty. Did we lose him?
No, you're back with us, Jeremy. You had a little bit of lag. Oh.
You got me?
Well, you're still here, Gio. We're waiting
Okay.
for Jeremy to catch up.
No worries.
Oh,
Yep.
you
You
back,
there,
Jeremy?
Gio?
Yep, got me.
Yep, I'm back.
Okay,
Yep,
we're good.
I got you, Gio. Yep. Sorry, technical difficulties is
No
our
worries.
first time doing this, but I wanted to ask you. I was asking about the butterflies, but before I get to that, what's the sweet spot for qualifying? You want to get the most points you can, obviously, but there is getting through that heat race. Is there a sweet spot to qualify?
I feel like 11 to 15, which I believe puts you 6 in a heat race. You get the quick timers right behind you, and hopefully you get some lesser cars starting 4th and 3rd, and if you can win the heat race, great. But if you can run in that 2nd, 3rd, 4th position and just make it through, and at the same time kind of keep those quick timers out of the transfer is ideal in my mind. I feel like the 1 year Wednesday night, I think Logan Schuchart was like 25th quick, made the invert in the feature, won the feature, and didn't lock into Saturday. So those points can kind of drive you crazy if you think about them too much. But I feel like anywhere, it just depends on your race car, right? Depends who's in your heat race, depends what the racetrack's like. If you can kind of march forward in a heat race, like you've seen, a lot in the past, someone going 8 to 4 or 8 to 2 or even 8 to 1, just all depends on your heat race.
Do you get butterflies going into this thing anymore? I mean, you've been there enough now. I know when you qualified, when you sat on the pole, this thing, you were nervous and whatnot, but do you still get nervous coming into this event?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like every race I run, whether it's a local Knoxville show or a Knoxville Nationals, I'm ready to throw up before I get in the car every single night, no matter what session it is, hot laps, qualifying, feature. Obviously, once you get your helmet on and you're doing your job, those butterflies kind of go away. But I look at it as a good thing, right? Like I look at it as you want to perform for yourself, for your team, for everyone involved that puts that time in. I think nerves are a strength, to be honest with you.
Last thing, I'll let you go. You coming off a Bob Weichert Memorial win. Does that help going into an event like this, just to win a big event like that at a place that even you admitted you didn't think was a place you necessarily circle and say, I'm really good there, I can win. To get that first win, you got to be going into this thing on a high.
Yeah, definitely. I think, winning there where, I did feel like I wasn't, spectacularly faster. I'd had good runs in the past and qualified good and stuff, but I had never really been good on one of those long features. It definitely is a huge confidence booster, I feel like. And the next time I race will be at 360 Nationals. So, yeah, definitely. No matter where you win at is obviously a big one. I feel like even the local races like a Knoxville or All-Star shows or whatever, those top 3 or 4 guys are extremely good at those racetracks and really anywhere in the country. So, yeah, a win couldn't really came at a better time for me.
Well, and also, I'm sure you didn't want the high limit season to take a break. You always want to go to Knoxville, but you were kind of on a heater a little bit there. Coming off a win, you cut it down to 36 points. I'm sure you would have liked the high limit season to continue.
Yeah, it is different looking at it. Only racing, 55 or 58 times, whatever the high limit schedule is, and having off weekends, unlike the outlaw schedule I run in the past. So, I try not to look at outlaw shows or whatever other race that's not points any differently than a high limit show. Obviously, if you get yourself in trouble, you have to try to make it back out, and there's really obviously no quitting at a high limit show when you're racing for points. So, it's nice. Even the Nationals for outlaws is show up points only. So these 2 weeks you look at it a little bit differently. The task at hand is to get yourself through a prelim and get a good starting spot on Saturday.
Well, Gio, thank you very much for joining us. Sorry for the technical difficulties, and again, congratulations on your win at the Weichert.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep, thank you. All right, Eric.
We do have a few more questions that have come in, so we might as well wrap these up, and then we'll
we
hit
got about
our
5 minutes. We got about 5.
It looks like Jeremy is having some internet laggy issues tonight because he just froze up again. Oh, is he back?
No, I'm here. Yep.
Okay, we're back. All right. First up, any live shows? Any live shows during Nationals week?
Yes. I expect to have one Tuesday night. It's kind of the off night there. It might start at 8 o'clock. But yes, I will have a live show Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, or 7:30, 8 o'clock Central Time.
Both of my hosts will be in Knoxville, so I need to get an Eric producing powered show going on during the week of the Knoxville Nationals for sure, between you and Mallet. Let's see here. Cosmo says, give me Hank Davis in the 2KS.
4?
I don't know. I guess you just is a big Hank Davis fan. Okay. Justin Henderson is a sleeper.
Agreed. Right there with Jace Park. I think that car's sneaky fast at times. Justin Henderson, obviously a lot of laps at Knoxville. Totally agree with that. And I know I kind of put him a little above the sleeper deal because he already has 2 top 5 finishes in the Nationals. 2013 and 2014, he was a top 5 guy. So I don't sleeper, but yes, people don't think of him as much. But that McGee car is quick, and I like having Ian Madsen and McGee on the wrenches and Henderson in the seat.
John from Toronto asks, are there no Canadian racers entered?
I didn't see any, but that doesn't mean we don't have one on Thursday.
I think we have one on Thursday.
Okay.
Almost positive we have one on Thursday. You had mentioned that Donnie changing motor builders.
I've heard rumblings. Brenham Crouch used a rider at the King's Royal on the final night. Went out real late and time decent. I've heard rumblings that there could be a motor change in the 15. Don't know if it'll happen, but I've heard those rumblings.
The 39M first lap at Knoxville will be during the 360 Nationals this year. They had the crash the night before the last Outlaws race at Knoxville.
Correct. So, but Joe Mooney is one of the best crew chiefs in the country. Yes. I'm not worried about them not having laps so much. I know it's big to get laps at Knoxville, but Anthony's been there. Oh, God. I mean, he's been there enough times that it's fine. I'm not worried about Anthony Macri.
Talking about nerves, I think some guy named Bill Russell would puke before big games, and he turned out to be pretty good.
Yes, should probably be mentioned in that in that discussion for best players of all time in the NBA.
Austin McCarro is your 2026 winner, 100%. This is his year.
Wow. It's a bold statement. A lot of talent, a lot of heavy hitters in that field.
If anybody knows who is signing autographs or at the Hall of Fame, let Ninja Joe know in the chat. They would be much appreciated. JJ Hickle is a sleeper.
I'll talk about him come Thursday.
Your predictions for Casey Kane?
It's going to be tough. Not a lot of laps this year. New package on the 4 car. B main, B or C.
Let's see if I missed anything here, but I don't think so. I think we're ready to switch over to our Thursday night graphics.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back with Thursday.
All righty, guys.
This is Tony Bakoven, the voice of the Knoxville Raceway, and the granddaddy of them all is getting closer. It's the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's. Tickets are available now by going to KnoxvilleRaceway.com. Order now, and let's go racing!
When we said short, we meant it.
So we're going to, since we're only, it's 8 o'clock, so we're going to just go right into Thursday, and we'll have another driver around 7:35, 7:45, something like that, and talk about the Thursday program. Take it away, Eric.
All righty. And folks, as we go through this, put your questions and comments in the chat so that way we can go to them once we're done going through our rundown. All right, let me pull up my Thursday sheets. Thursday number 1. First up on Thursday, Tyler Courtney from Indianapolis, Indiana, driver of the 7BC High Limit Touring Driver.
Has a rider under the hood now. Had one under the hood when he won at State Line with High Limit, and also at Knoxville when he just nailed the bottom and sailed by Ryan Timms. Really, everybody. Courtney, underrated at Knoxville. He was 4th in 2022. He was injured a year ago, so didn't make the A main, obviously, because of the back injury suffered at Eldora. He's qualified in 3 of his last 7 Knoxville Nationals attempts. I think he puts it in the show this year. He's going to be out there for 360. He's going to get a lot of laps, and obviously they seem to have a good package there.
Next up, we have Austin Gossel from Fort Collins, Colorado.
Yeah, another guy. When you're looking at Corey Neeshaw's pool, you gotta look down in those lower groups. Yes. Austin Gossel might be a selection.
The lower groups is what makes or breaks your pools. That's for sure.
Yes.
Next up, we have Carson McCarroll from Altoona, Iowa.
Yeah, he's, I don't know. I don't think Terry's running it this year. Last year was his last Knoxville Nationals, and now he can focus on Carson and Austin. They split up nights. I'm sure Austin will be helping Carson out. And another guy you could look at as maybe a sleeper, one of those Cameron Martin type guys to slip into the field and surprise everyone.
Next up, we have Garrett Benson, rookie out of Missouri.
Yeah, it's our first rookie on Thursday night. We have 4 of them, 8 rookies in total this year.
Next up, we have Skylar G, our one Canadian driver, World of Outlaws touring driver.
Does that really count? I mean, he's a World of Outlaws regular. Didn't know if he'd be at the Nationals this year. He gets the ride in the 16C about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. I didn't know what his plans were going to be at this point in the year, and here he is in the Knoxville Nationals running a full-time World of Outlaws car.
Next up, we have Parker Price Miller, wild card out of Kokomo, Indiana.
Another sneaky guy who likes to lock into the Knoxville Nationals. Shows speed Thursday night. I'm not sure if he was always Thursday night, but again, a guy you got to watch. He times well. If he can make it through that heat race, by all means can lock into the A main. He's done it in the past, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does it again, especially in a car wrenched by Bernie Stubjen.
Next up, we have Chase Randall, high limit touring driver.
Hard to handicap Chase. He's had a really rough time of it with high limit. He shows speed at times. He's had success at Knoxville in the past, but the struggles this year have been huge. But a good week at Knoxville can turn things around, or at least save your season, especially if he locks into the A main.
Next up, we have Darren Pittman in the 69K wildcard driver.
Darren Pittman to say he has a lot of laps is an understatement. He's qualified the last 2 years. His best finish was 3rd in 2019. He's going to be in the iconic Don Christ Jr. entry. That car has speed. We saw it this past weekend at Port Royal in the Weikert when Ryan Smith drove it in. We're back again.
We're back. You're back.
Are we back again?
Yep.
I don't know what's causing that. We'll have to work on that. But Darren Pittman, so many laps there, iconic car. Again, I think he's an A main candidate.
Next up, we have JJ Hickle, Washington, Knoxville regular. Yeah,
a Knoxville regular who's one of my sleepers. Okay, I picked a sleeper for each night. JJ Hickle's my Thursday sleeper. He made the A main in 2022. Otherwise, he hasn't. But this year, a lot of speed. He put it in the top 5 against the World of Outlaws in a stacked April show when I was there. I think the car's good. I think JJ gets around that place, and he again can make it. I think he can make his second Knoxville Nationals A main start and be that sleeper out of Thursday.
Next up, we have Ben Brown, Marshall, Missouri. Next up, we have Garrett Williamson, World of Outlaws touring driver, Columbia, Missouri.
How about Garrett Williamson? Looking sporty lately. Looking
Very.
sporty. Led laps in the Kings Royal. Before that race, somebody in the media center said, he could get his first outlaw win and have it be the Kings Royal. I said, there is no way. I was almost wrong and I said that because he just hasn't been good at Eldora. He wasn't good at Wilmot either. He almost won there. I think Garrett Williamson's improving dramatically. I think he is going to win a World of Outlaws main event this year. Wouldn't be surprised if he wins the Thursday prelim at the Knoxville Nationals. I definitely think he will lock in to Saturday's A main. I think he's running that well. He's good at Knoxville. They have speed right now. We'll see how he does at the Grove this week, but that's a totally different animal. I like Garrett Williamson at the Nationals.
Next up, we have Cap Henry, Republic, Ohio.
Tough spot for Cap. He's an Ohio guy. Loves the dry slick, loves to run the bottom, and just kind of, I call him the silent assassin in Ohio. The problem is you don't really do that at Knoxville very much, but he's on the right night. I think it's going to be wider. I think it's going to be a tick slicker, and it might fall more into Cap Henry's wheelhouse.
Next up, we have Anthony Macri, wild card driver out of Dillsburg, Pennsylvania.
And there it is. We kind of had the spoiler alert on Macri. Look, he was fifth in 2024. He can run. He can run in the top 5 with this group. He times well, and especially if he starts on the outside of a heat race, look out. I think he's going to lock in this year. Is he back to 100%? Maybe 90, but that was good enough to win the Kings Royal, and he did it not just getting out front and cruising. He dropped back to third and then had to pass Rico and Garrett Williamson to win the Kings Royal. I like him at Knoxville as well. I think he's going to time well. That engine likes to eat around half miles, and it's all about that heat race. You heard Gio Selzy say it earlier. That heat race that's the biggest part of your week, I think. And for Anthony, if he can get through the heat race, I think he can just kind of maintain in the A main and punch his Saturday ticket.
Next up, we have Chris Martin from Iowa, Knoxville regular.
Yeah, it's Chris Martin, brother Cameron. Danny Lasowski helps the Martins right there. That's huge for the Martin. Having somebody with his experience, kind of telling you what to do under his tutelage, so to speak. I think you can never go wrong with that. Chris Martin, it'll be interesting to see how Cameron does. I believe we had him in the last list. It'll be interesting to see how the brothers do at the Knoxville Nationals with Danny Lasowski in their camp.
Next up, we have Sean McClelland, Tulsa, Oklahoma, rookie.
Another rookie. It's our second one on this list, I believe, and we have 2 more.
Next up, we have Cameron Martin.
Oh, they're running the same night. That kind of surprises me a little bit. That's actually odd to me that they would run the same night. They probably, again, are looking for better track conditions or what they feel are better track conditions on a Thursday. And we'll see which one comes out on top. I know Cameron making it last year was one of those guys, again, that we talk about who shocks people when they make the Knoxville Nationals A main.
Next up, we have Gage Polkerbeck, now a high-limit touring driver.
Sort of, kind of. I'm not going to go that far. Again, just Needs to be careful at Knoxville. I think for Gage at this point, it's about getting laps. Just don't tear it up. That place you wreck hard. Every wreck at Knoxville is hard.
Just don't tear it up.
No, just bring it back to the trailer.
Next up, we have Ayrton Genitin from Missouri, Knoxville regular.
Well, he's a power eye guy more so than anything. And he's always in contention with Power Eye, but he has Knoxville experience. And this year, I don't think it's been quite as good as last year. But again, as I said, if you want to save your season, you want to salvage something, Knoxville's the place to do it.
Next up, we have Xavier Doney, Odessa, Missouri.
An interesting guy. I believe he's still leading, or he might. I'm not sure if he's still leading the Power Eye points. He had a bad finish, I believe, last week that might have dropped him. But Xavier Doney, I'm anxious to see some of these Power Eye guys run the Knoxville Nationals. And now that you hear about them more with Power Eye, it's a regional series, which I think the regional programs have really stepped up and given more exposure to more guys. And now we get to see him at Knoxville more.
Next up, we have Zach Hampton in the 6Z out of Mooresville, Indiana.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, is this a Team DGRD car?
I do believe so.
Dennis Gainey, obviously everything that happened there, I think that story will be coming out soon. Maybe it wasn't as bad as what people thought. But Zach Hampton getting the ride with him, and I think car design, we're all looking forward to that because they're always in the running for that best appearing.
Next up, we have Michael Buddy Kofoid, Pengrove, California, World of Outlaws touring driver.
Don't know what to think of Buddy at Knoxville. It's he makes the A main. I mean, he's qualified in three of his 4 attempts. His best finish was 8th. He was 21st a year ago. His performance in last year's, I believe, Hard Knocks program, fabulous. Came from deep in the field and made it into the Knoxville Nationals A main. It just needs to be better at Knoxville to contend for the World of Outlaws championship. This week doesn't matter toward that. Obviously, the Knoxville Nationals show up points. But still, Buddy last night at BAP said that the car feels like it did, meaning as good as it used to feel. I guess they went through a week or two where they just didn't feel the same. He has that feel back, and we'll see how he does at Williams Grove. And then moving forward, Peevely's always good at Peevely. Won the Ironman last year, and see if he can carry it into Knoxville.
Let's go ahead and pull up Thursday number 2. First up on Thursday number 2, Dason Persley, high limit touring driver, Locust Grove, Oklahoma.
So he's found some speed lately with a couple top 5s. I think he'll get better in the second half of the year. Maybe a sleeper in the Thursday pool. He can time well, and it's all about passing cars again, or just in one of those sweet spots where you can kind of limp in, get to 4th, and then pass a couple cars in the A main. It all goes down to qualifying the format. They have 5 heat races, and I believe it's 5. And they invert 8. So you got to get in the top 40. But to get in that sweet spot, like Gio said, 11th to 15th, you're sitting on the outside of row 3, pass a couple cars, get to 4th. And then at that point, you're getting some pretty good points. So I think Persley can lock into the A main. I know it's been a rough start to the year. The first half was not what he was looking for. But I do think this team's growing together. I do think with the new crew chief and new team, I think Persley was going to take his lumps. I think he'll be better in the second half, and it could start at Knoxville.
Next up, we have Kyle Larson, Elk Grove, California, wild card driver.
3-time champion. He's got to talk about, he's running his qualifying night. Scheduled to run at Richmond on Saturday. People don't think he should be allowed to compete on Thursday because if everything goes off without a hitch, he's not going to be able to race at Knoxville. So people feel he's taking a spot away. I'm not going to die on this hill because I've seen it before. Rico Abreu put Canales in the car when he couldn't be there after qualifying for the Knoxville Nationals A-Main. Can run, obviously
Nope, froze again.
We back?
You're back. The last little bit of your Larson talk did not come through.
Larson, if they do rain out at Richmond, and he obviously can be, he's a favorite to win this, right alongside Timms, Gravel, and Sheldon, and all those other guys. He's going to make it through Thursday. I have no doubt about that, because he'll time well enough. He drive the wheels off it and either make it through the heat race B main and then pass a lot of cars. So I have no doubt that Larson will make it through. I'm not going to die on the hill of, he shouldn't be allowed to run, because again, I saw it years ago with Rico, and he put Canales in it to tag the field. So it's not new, and we'll see if it rains at Richmond.
Next up, we have Joe Cimbaro from from Swan, Iowa.
Yeah, he's a regular there in the 56. It's, again, one of those lower guys in those lower divisions who can make or break their Corey Neshaw pool.
Next up, we have Creed Kenemaugh, rookie out of Ohio.
Creed Kenemaugh, following in the footsteps of his father, Chad Kenemaugh, rookie. I think this year he's taken some leaps. I've seen him. He's been on the gas. He seems quicker this year. I think he's starting to get it. Obviously, his dad was really good. I believe his dad finished second at the Nationals one year. So good lineage there, and anxious to see him perform at Knoxville, a place where his dad was decent.
Next up, we have Levi Hillier, another rookie out of Washington.
On the gas, and he's Northwest, the Northwest young guy, another Rudine driver. He's impressed at times at Skagit. On our website, Joseph Terrell's written about him a time or two. Now getting out and getting into the Midwest, tackling the Nationals. He's another guy who can contend with Reese Moran and Jai Corbett for Rookie of the Year.
Next up, we have Bill Baylog, North Pole, Alaska, World of Outlaws touring driver.
Baylog's locked into an A-Main a couple years ago, did a story on it. This is not Eldora, okay? So we don't have to worry about him. Well, I shouldn't say that. Eldora, it's guaranteed there's some bent-up stuff. This is different. He likes Knoxville. He's run well at Knoxville in the past. He's made the Knoxville Nationals A-Main. Bill Baylog will be a little more at home at Knoxville than he was the last Crown Jewel.
Next up, we have Brent Marks from Myerstown, Pennsylvania, high limit touring driver.
I think after winning the World of Outlaws event at Knoxville, his stock goes up. I think it goes up a ton at Knoxville, and I think he can be a force. I don't have him up there with Timms and Gravel, but Marks has had a decent, he's made the A-Main 6 of 12 times. Was 6th in 2021, and he's a Knoxville winner this year against the World of Outlaws, a similar field to what we're going to see during the Knoxville Nationals. He's on the upward tick. He's running well, and it's a good way to be heading into Knoxville.
Next up, we have John Carney from El Paso, Texas.
Another guy who has a lot of laps at Knoxville.
Next up, we have Tasker Phillips from Pleasantville, Iowa.
He made the Knoxville Nationals a couple years ago. It was a big, I believe it might have been even last year. I'm not sure. But he made the Knoxville Nationals. It was very popular, him making it in. And again, it's that if you qualify in the right spot, make it through your heat race. He did that and passed enough cars in the A main to lock into Saturday. The speeds, he's had some speed this year. He just had some been in the wrong place at the wrong time, some crash or some bent up parts, maybe a mechanical woe here and there. If he can get rid of that, he can make some noise Thursday.
Next up, we have Derek Hagar from Marion, Arkansas. Oh, are you frozen again?
Derek Hagar. How about that?
All right. Next up, we have Carson Macedo, World of Outlaws touring driver.
Always seems to shine at Knoxville. Carson Macedo, that's who we're going to have in a little bit here on the phone. Carson, pretty good resume at Knoxville. He has 3 straight top 5 finishes. He has 5 top 10 finishes in 8 starts. Always seems to have speed Knoxville Nationals week. And always in the running for the best appearing car. That's something that seems to be a JJR thing. But he has speed. And while you may not think of him in the same light as a Ryan Timms or a David Gravel at this point, I think that's a mistake. I think he's always hanging around, and I always feel there's going to be one of these years where he breaks through. He already has 2 Crown Jewel wins. He has a pair of Williams Grove National Open triumphs. So it wouldn't surprise me if Carson Macedo wins the Knoxville Nationals. I think this team's always geared up for this event, and it shows in their performance.
Next up, we have Scott Boguski.
Always like the Scott Boguski. He's another one who gets in. He's in these different cars, and he shows speed and knocking on the door of some good finishes in sanctioned series events. It always puts him kind of, I don't want to say under the microscope, but people know who he is at the Nationals. Again, has shown speed in some sanctioned races at different times in his career. And Knoxville, the biggest one of them all, I think he can get around there as well.
Next up, we have Brian Brown, a Knoxville regular.
Brian Brown's an interesting topic because the resume is pretty good. He had 3 runner-up finishes. He's 14 A main appearances. He was hurt during last year's qualifying night in the incident with J.J. Hickle. And he still deals with some of those wrist issues. He struggled mightily this year. I know whether it be motor program or just not performing well, not having speed. Knoxville Nationals, you just don't know how many of these he's going to have anymore. Talking to him at Eldora, he needs to put it in the show this year. Obviously, he wants to rebound after last year getting injured, which kind of set him on he's struggled ever since. So this is the place where he can turn it around.
Next up, we have Logan Schuhart, Hanover, Pennsylvania, World of Outlaws touring driver.
Who can forget his 22nd to second charge in 2019? The problem was David Gravel was out front enough that Logan couldn't catch him. Logan he was 5th a year ago. He's made 9 straight Knoxville Nationals A mains. Again, timing's everything for him because if he can lay down a good lap, get through that heat race, and start closer to the front so he doesn't have to come from 22nd. I think the speed's there. Haven't seen him. I think Knoxville's again, it's hit or miss. I know one year he didn't go to the scales. I know it's just a weird stuff happens to him there, but he's fast and he can pass cars. That's critical in this format, and I look for him to be an A main participant on Saturday night.
Next up, we have Josh Schneiderman, West Burlington, Iowa.
Long time regular at Knoxville. I don't know if he's there every week now, but he was at one point, and knows his way around the place.
Next up, we have Spencer Baston from Lebanon, Indiana, World of Outlaws touring driver.
Weird year last year. Doing a story the final night how he was done in the car, and he made the Knoxville Nationals A main. So they need a good finish. They've been on the struggle bus as of late, and again, Knoxville's a place where you can salvage your season, and he's had success there in the past, aka last year, and they knew that he was going to be out of the car. It wasn't something where he pulled in and it was a big surprise. It was something that was in the works, and showed up and performed anyway. So I think this is a place where, and the format, with the way the format is, that he can get enough points and maybe salvage his season again.
Next up, we have Connor Morrell, World of Outlaws touring driver.
It's going to be tough for Connor because he's had some motor issues. I think he's down on power plants a little bit. I think he's probably saving something for the Nationals. Most people do. I just don't know if he's been forced to maybe use a motor that he was setting aside or not, just to make it through World of Outlaws events. Tough night for him on Thursday.
Up next, we have Brenham Crouch, Lubbock, Texas, high limit touring driver.
They split up the CJB cars. Ran a rider, like I said, at the Kings Royal, and he timed better. They had a little more speed, and we'll see if he can carry it over to Knoxville.
All right, we're on our last five here.
Five.
Next up, Aaron Reitzel from Clute, Texas, high limit touring driver.
One of the guys to watch. No doubt. He's right in that Tim's gravel range as far as being a favorite. He started on the pole in 2019. Obviously, we've already said David Gravel won that event. He has 2 top 5 finishes in 8 Knoxville Nationals tries. Didn't run last year because he was injured. It was Courtney and Brown ended up getting hurt there, and then of course Aaron Reitzel was dealing with his with the foot injury that he suffered at Eldora. Aaron Reitzel looked really good in a show a couple weeks ago where he was running 4th with 8 laps to go and just boat raced him in those last 7 or 8 laps and just blew by Ryan Timms. I'm never counting Aaron Reitzel out, ever.
Next up, we have Clint Gardner, Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Former 360 champion there, owned that division there, so he has a lot of laps at Knoxville.
Next up, we have Cale Thomas from Greenfield, Indiana.
Late entry, was out of the 49X, parted ways with the Rudzik car, and now finds a ride in the 31 and is going to tackle Knoxville.
Next up, we have Matt Joel from T, South Dakota.
Always a sleeper pick for people in the pools. He's had some really good runs during National Week and always a threat to kind of surprise people.
And lastly, Cole Mincer from Burlington, Iowa.
Another late entry. We got this one today. In fact, before the business day ended, and he'll definitely be noticeable in his heat races.
All righty, let me go ahead and bring up the full field Thursday rundown for Thursday's qualifying night for the Knoxville Nationals. Thursday full field. Here we go.
I don't know. Do you think it's tougher? Which field do you think's tougher? We'll go to you.
I think Wednesday's tougher.
Why?
I think they're just bigger names. Gravel, Rico. I have my list off the top of my head. Tim's. I mean, just those 3 right there are, truly legitimate shots to win could be 1, 2, 3 very easy. Now, does Thursday have some hitters? Yes, they do. I just think Wednesday is the more difficult and heavier of the 2 days.
Do you think there's more now? I think what might hurt Thursday is nobody knows what the deal is with Larson. I mean, if he can race, that's great. I think, but if he can't race Saturday, it kind of takes it out of the mix a little bit.
Now,
I don't know if that maybe adds to that not being as deep, not being as good as Wednesday. I do think there's depth here, though. I do think you get I think Brian Brown being off hurts a little bit with him struggling, but you have Logan, you have Larson, you have Macri, you have Carson Macedo, you have Darren Pittman. We already mentioned Larson. You still have some guys in there, and it's a tough field. Tyler Courtney as well.
Now, a big storyline that was just generated by the fans before you came out with the Brad Sweet story was that a lot of people assumed, okay, Larson's going to miss out on the Saturday because of the NASCAR race, and then Sweet is going to go on that ride. Obviously, we all know now that's not going to happen. Would you have any clue of who, if anyone, they would put in the 57 if Larson could not make it?
I couldn't. I don't have the foggiest idea who they would put in that car. I have no idea. It's just not. I don't know who it would be. See, they had Canales who jumped in Rico's car. I don't know who you put in it.
I just think it's weird that we're rooting. Not that we're rooting for rain, but it's like Larson's entering the biggest sprint car race of the year, hoping that it rains where he's at on Saturday so he can actually compete for the main prize. It just, I don't know. It seems weird to me.
Either that or rain at Knoxville, which I desperately don't want that.
Right. So it's like he's just really hoping for weather. All right, let's go ahead and bring our cameras back up, and we'll go to some questions here. Media assets here. We are back. All right, go back to our comments. More graphics than we normally have, folks, so I got to do some extra clicking. Let's see here. Carson has been qualifying well at Knoxville this year.
Yeah, Carson shows up at Knoxville, and it doesn't seem to matter what the year looks like. I think he's going to be good. I think that team's really good there. I think Philip Dietz has a really good handle on that place. I know sometimes in the Outlaw shows there, it's not always pretty or the same way, but man, when they show up for the Nationals, they're on point. And it kind of flies under the radar sometimes because of Larson, Gravel, or Ryan Timms having a fantastic Nationals. I never think, to me, Carson Macedo can't be under the radar, but it still feels that way sometimes. Mm-hmm. There's always a storyline someplace, and he just goes about his business.
Master Gasters is going out on, I don't want to say going out on the limb, but he states that JJ locks in on Thursday night.
Sleeper pick to lock in. He's a sleeper pick for me to lock in. He's been very good at Knoxville this year. Top 5 with the World of Outlaws earlier in the year, and just a loaded field in April. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
Also from Master Gassers, Ryder McCutcheon, I think I said that correctly, is leading the Power Eye points. I think we spoke about Power Eye a bit earlier. Oh, are you frozen again? It looks like you're frozen again.
You're back. I always think Ryder, and I think Ryder LaPlante. So, yes, thank you for pointing out Ryder McCutcheon. He took the point lead, young guy. Surprised maybe not at the Nationals. Didn't see him on the list. Maybe he'll be a late entry.
Seems like more quote-unquote big-time drivers are entering the 360 Nationals this year. Is this a trend to continue in the future?
I think so. I think with high limit and being off, I think that's changed it. And look, everybody wants laps for the Nationals, and it's close. The weather, I mean, April was cold. I wore a sweatshirt every night. It'd be great to wear one in August, but I think, it's the week before. It makes sense. So, yes, I think the 360 Nationals is going to get bigger and bigger. They add to the purse a little bit every year, and I think as they do that, teams are going to view it as a must-attend event.
Don't sleep on Chris Martin. Won his first Knoxville 410 feature on June 27th.
Yeah, I think everybody thinks of Cameron because he locked into the Knoxville Nationals A main last year. But we're correct. Chris Martin wins his first 410 main event this year. I'm going to be interested to see how they work that on running the same night.
I hope Macri Time Trials gets back to past form. I feel like he's been struggling a little since coming back.
Yeah, I think so. He admitted that he's about 90% at the Kings Royal. I think that's going to be better. I think he'll be fine this weekend at the Grove. Wouldn't be surprised if he wins a World of Outlaws event at the Grove this weekend. And then he's going to head west. I think that it will be important to get laps during the 360s. I think he'll be fine. Now I have the Capitani Classic as well. And I think by the time Thursday rolls around, he'll be in good shape.
You already touched on this. Who do you think will be in the 57 on Saturday?
I have no idea. I haven't heard a name or any inkling of a name. I know everybody was thinking Brad Sweet. And maybe that could happen. I mean, Brad will be there as far as doing high limit stuff. They have their owners meeting out there. So he will be there. I don't know if they would do that on Saturday where they put him in the car and tag the rear or not. I mean, it would make sense. Otherwise, I don't know who they would get.
I think Marks will drive that 19 into a top 5 in the Nationals.
You're not going to get an argument out of me on that one. I think that's very, very, very possible.
Let's see here. Hellbilly thinks that you're stealing your neighbor's Wi-Fi.
I don't know what's going on. I woke up this morning and my Wi-Fi was off. And then it was fine all day. And then we do this, and I guess it's on my end. I'm just gonna blame Eric.
I'll take the blame. It's fine.
This is I was mad this morning because you get the dots on the way down. Mm-hmm. I had only one, and then it started loading slowly. So I don't know what's going on. It's not hot here, so I have no idea. Blame my cat or something.
I don't think it's storming outside either. So
no, it's not that. I don't know what it is.
Do you think Larson is hoping for a rain out either at Richmond or Knoxville on Saturday night?
Sure. I think he wants to run. I think it depends on how he does Thursday. But in order for him to not lock in, I mean, the chances of him running bad enough that he just doesn't make it is slim.
Let's see here. Hindsight obviously is what it is, but do you think there's any second thoughts with the 41 and not joining High Limit?
I don't think so. I think they're focused on the season. I don't think there's any. I think there's some people now who are looking at the charter system / franchise system and how it's working. I think there's some going, man, maybe we should have jumped on that. But I don't think it consumes them or they're sitting around going, oh, I wish we would have done that. I think it's just kind of and I don't mean even the 41. I mean some other teams. I know some other teams who were earlier this year said, man, we wish we would have jumped on that. And they didn't. So I think as this process moves forward, I think there's probably going to be more teams, but the 41's worried about an outlaw championship chase. They're not. I don't think they're worried about anything else.
Fred believes that Larson should not be allowed to enter if he cannot guarantee that he will be there on Saturday.
Look, that campus, I mean, that's a split, probably 50-50 each way. I understand both sides. Again, it's not a hill that I'm going to die on, because let's say he is the 15th guy or 16th guy, or really any guy, he's keeping somebody out. And then if they can't race, but he earned the spot, regardless of who's in it. So I see both sides, and it's just, again, if I wouldn't have seen it before, I'd probably be more up in arms about it, but I'm not. It doesn't move the needle for me.
What do you think of Brenham Crouch's chances are with Heath Moyle as his crew chief?
I like Heath Moyle. I think Heath has been around a long time. I think Heath made the decision, okay, we're going to put a rider in this thing. I think it was the right decision. And I think he's good with younger guys. And I think Brenham needs an experienced guy. It's all situational. Okay? Any team's situational. Look at Chase Deeds. He bumped around Central PA. He'd win 1 or 2 a year, and that was all well and good. But he got with Stamen, and he won 9 last year with a slew of runner-up finishes. And now this year he has 18 wins. I think everything's situational. Personalities got to mesh. It seems like so far Heath and Brenham get along. We'll see how it progresses. But and I don't think it means like Tyler Swank wasn't a good crew chief. Tyler Swank's a good crew chief. He has a King's Royal crown. He has podium finishes at the Nationals. It's situational, and it's personalities, and everything's got to mesh.
Todd wants to know, where is Justin Sanders?
He will be on the West Coast. He's not running the Nationals. Last year he filled in for Aaron Reitzel. It's not something he does every year. He has commitments in California, and that's what he's going to do.
Carson Macedo's last 3 Nationals were 4th, and a 5th. Think he can get to the podium or win?
I'm not betting against him because, again, as I said earlier, yeah, he has 3 straight top 5s, and he's always fast there. So absolutely, I think he can get to the podium and or win. Definitely think that, and I think that's a good place for you to dial Carson Macedo up.
Absolutely.
And I will look at some more of the questions. Put Natalie Sather Silva in the 57. She was always attractive, but never was much of a driver. That's harsh. The work area wins all nights in Knoxville. Let's hope not. I'm betting against that. Usually don't have a lot of cautions during those events because I think the caliber of guys who make it through those fields, even on the qualifying nights, I think that they're really good, and you just have less cautions. Put Dominic into 57, so all the talk will be about dueling brothers. Well, they'll go to the rear. If it's Comcast, not a surprise. Yes, my internet is Comcast. I'm thinking about getting some Starlink. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right. Are we back, Eric? All right, Carson, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. We won't keep you too long. I know you got the Grove tomorrow night. You're probably beating up on Braden in some regard, which you should probably do every night. But
I just got done cooking him dinner, actually. Grill night out here at the Sage family. Yeah.
Well, you wait till I see him tomorrow. So we know he can't cook. We know that. But so, Carson, you go Thursday night. Why Thursday? Is this just something when you went to JJR, that's what they do? Or do you guys prefer Thursday, and why?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I mean, everybody's got their strategies, like, oh, supposedly Thursday gets slicker and this and that. Like, I don't know if any of that's true. I think that, a lot of the times I've been sitting up in that sweet tower and I think to myself, well, why didn't we go Wednesday? I mean, it looks like that night might be a little softer. Like, why didn't we do that? And then, and then we've had years where I think, oh, I'm glad we went Thursday. And then, the one year it rained and we ended up kind of wide open on a Thursday. So I don't know. I feel like that's just kind of what JJR's always done, it seems like. And I think we've just kind of, ever since I've been here, that's all we've ever done. So I know the year that I ran for JJR after Jason had his accident in 2018, we went Thursday. And I was pretty appreciative of that just because of the fact that I hadn't really had any success at Knoxville, so it was nice to watch a prelim night and maybe try and learn a few things. So yeah, I guess that'd be my best answer on that.
You have 3 straight top 5s in the Knoxville Nationals. Regardless of what your season's going like leading up to it, you always seem to be fast this week. What is it about this week? And is it just a case of saving your best stuff? Do you just gear up more as a driver? What is it about the Nationals that you seem to excel?
Yeah, I think Phillip has a really good package at Knoxville. I think he's always had a good car there. And I know that there's times where we may struggle, at other races like the May races or something like that. But ultimately, it seems like we always get going by the end of the night. And I feel like it gives him a long enough week there to really kind of get our stuff where it needs to be. But between the Capitani and the Oskaloosa Front Row Challenge and all that, and then watching a prelim night, typically by our prelim night, he's got a really good idea of what he needs to, put forward the best car possible to make a lot of speed. So I think I would say probably all those reasons there. I feel like, the Knoxville Nationals too, it seems like, I don't know, I feel like the good teams and cars always seem to kind of get to where they need to be eventually, just because it's, Knoxville, I always say, is like, it's just not a race you could ever luck into. You got to be good all week, and then obviously your prelim night matters, and then even if you have a bad night, let's say on your prelim night something unfortunate happens, typically somebody can then dig their way out through that Friday night deal. So I don't know. I mean, I hope that that's not us, but you just never know. And I just feel like we've had a solid car there for years that time of year.
I asked Gio Selzy this about, when he goes out Wednesdays, but is there a sweet spot to qualify? I always said it's between that.
Yeah, first
11th to 18th, but you're getting points too. So is there a sweet spot, or is it just go, kind of wide open and try and get as much as you can?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's the earlier you can be out, I think the better at Knoxville. It just seems like I don't know that I've ever remembered a time when you went out first and were like, oh man, I wish we wouldn't have went out that early. It just really killed us. I mean, it seems like it's always better to go out earlier. The year that I went quick time with JJR in 18, we were the 3rd or 4th car out, And so I don't know. I mean, maybe not first. Okay, so maybe you want to be the 5th car out, just because you watch a couple guys, you have a decent idea. Maybe the lane gets run in after hot laps. I don't know. But, I mean, I feel like the earlier the better. When you're on the left side of that big tower, they're on the front stretch that they, yell out the announcing in, you're in a pretty good spot.
Is there a better place to time, meaning where you end up in the final order? Is that something, because I know Gio said 11th to 15th, because you're on the outside of row 3, you're on the outside, you're in front of the 7th and 8th place guy in the heat race. Is that kind of the optimum place to be, or is it one of those deals where you just want to get as many points as possible?
No, I think that the most optimal thing is to be about. In my opinion, it's a 6 heat race format. I think if the perfect scenario for me would be 5th or 6th quick. I don't think being the quick time guy. I do think that guys still make it happen. I think your best shot, is Well, I know what your best shot is if you're in the first heat race and you qualify quick time, but I don't know if I want to say it just because I feel like, you don't want to give all your secrets away. But I think that there is an opportunity there that a lot of guys maybe don't see. But I think that ultimately, fifth or sixth heat race, you're going to have a more racy heat race overall. There's going to be more opportunity for passing because you are in one of the later heat races. The track's developed a little bit more, which, the guys are going to make more mistakes. But I think with the way the Knoxville format is, you have to qualify good. Like 11th to 15th, I would argue that that's not good enough. It's going to be tough to get on the front row. Because there's going to be one guy, two guys, in my opinion, that almost always start eighth in their heat race and then run third. It just always happens. So I think that if you want to be on the front row, which is where you want to be, in my opinion, you need to qualify in the top six positions. And anything else, I mean, that seven through I think 15th or whatever it is kind of tough, right? Then you're trapped on the inside. So I mean, I see where he's saying that. I can see where he's saying that, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be tough to be on the front row of the Nationals, or even in the top 2 or 3 rows qualifying that bad.
Last couple things. Your season's kind of been up and down a little bit. You've dealt with some different things and made a motor switch. You and I talked about it at Eldora. Do you still feel comfortable coming into the Nationals? I mean, you've been kind of streaky at times. You had that deal at the end of May, beginning of June, where you rattled off 3 wins and 6 starts, and then it kind of leveled off. Last night, a solid night at BAPS, and now you're coming into Williams Grove where you've been pretty good. Kind of assess where you guys are now, and also the Ford program. Is that the motor you're going to be using at the Nationals?
Yeah, the plan is as of now to use a Ford at the Nationals. I'm actually, pleasantly surprised. The Ford's been really, really good. We feel like it's actually been an improvement to our program. I feel like from a reliability standpoint, I mean, we haven't had a single issue, which is, really awesome, actually. I don't know. I see some upside potential in it that I maybe you didn't see before, and that's probably me just maybe not giving it a fair enough shake. But I think that it's actually been really good. We won't have one in this coming weekend just because we're still in the process of building them and getting them to the point where we have enough to actually run them. The one is Nate needs some changes made, and then the one that we ran at BAPS, it went 10 nights, and then they're going to kind of just check it out and make sure everything's okay. So I think that's great. I think it's good to have some precaution in that regard and just make sure that everything's looking okay. And then, I think, that is the engine that we plan to run at the Nationals, a brand new one. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how that runs. We'll probably, I'm assuming, run it at the Cappy just to make sure that we like it first. But, as far as the season, the up and down, it's just, it's been tough. It's, obviously we want to be up all the time, but it's sprint car racing, and I mean, it's, just a hard game. I feel like there's nights where we feel awesome, and then there's nights where we struggle. And I think Philip's one of the best mechanics in the sport. He's amazing at what he does. And, you see him kind of sometimes get a little confused. So that tells you how hard it is, right? So I don't know. I think that, of course, we want to be doing better. But I do feel like, it's hard to point all the blame at anybody. I mean, it's just been just as much my fault, really. I mean, I spun out running in the top 5 at Lawton. I spun out, running in the top 5 at Hartford. Caused bad nights. And then, the other night at Attica, we're having a great night. And, obviously something happened there with Kyle, and I end up kind of collected. And then at Eldora, Brendan Crouch. I mean, it's just been, the deal on the start there. It seems like it just hasn't been quite been going our way, and then there's nights where we're just off and we just don't finish real well. But like you said, JJR, the good thing about JJR is we're capable of anything. I mean, that one month we rattled off a bunch of wins, and it seemed like we were really, really good, and then we start searching again. So overall, I think it's a tough sport. We're doing our best, and we want to be better, and I feel like we've found some consistency here lately, and I think that the engine program being a little better has helped as well. So we'll just keep trending in that direction. Hopefully we keep going that way and keep putting together strong runs, and then confidence comes up and everything kind of works together.
Well, Carson, I appreciate you taking time out from your cooking duties to join us, and we'll catch you tomorrow night at Williams Grove. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it, guys. Always a pleasure and always fun being here in PA.
All right. Care.
Thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Yep. All right.
Let's see here. We have a couple more questions have come in here.
Okay.
After a quick phone call, news is the Dingus will have sparkling water on tap for you.
Believe it or not, I don't go to Dingus. And the reason is after the races, I go back and write. I get stuff done. And the other thing is, I don't know of anything. I don't need to be involved in anything that might blow up in my face as well. So I walk right past it, go to the house and start working. That's usually the best policy for me.
Think of the reports that could come out of Dingus. You could start a whole Dingus report blog. Curious if JST Motorsports and Tanner Thorson have a history from before. And speaking of Tanner Thorson, not on the list tonight.
No, he's not on the list. In fact, crossed off. Do they have a history? Yeah, JST was a sponsor for them. I've looked into the interesting stuff with Chantel Tessier, the book she writes, checking some of that out. It's that dark romance stuff. It's interesting. So, yeah, it was just good that they were able to purchase that charter/franchise from Rod Gross. That was the plan, kind of in a handshake deal all along. And they're the new owners for Tanner Thorson. As for not being at Knoxville, I'm not overly surprised by that because he hasn't been good at Knoxville, number one. Number two, they got the rest of the high limit season, and it hasn't been good as of late. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're just going to prep for the rest of the season. And I think it's a good call on their part. High limit's their main thing, and they need to have their ducks in a row and improve on some of their recent finishes.
Well, since I have purchased the Tanner Holmes vitamins, I will now be purchasing the Tanner Thorson dark romantic novel for my wife. For my wife, she'll seem to like that.
Okay.
Let's see here. Bobby predicted Timms would win last year, and check. This year it is going to be Corey Day. Take it to the bank. Perhaps take it to the bank for a payday.
Oh, here we go. You know what? Corey Day's very good at Knoxville. He's picked up on the place really well. I know they always said, he's coming out of California, won't be good in half miles. Yeah, right. Corey Day's very good, can show up and win any night against anybody. So, again, I'm taking David Gravel to win it just because, due to get through his heat race, due to have some good fortune, but Corey Day definitely can challenge for that.
And no NASCAR obligations for Corey Day. So we are all clear in there. Brian Brown will win and retire.
If he does win, I almost hope he does do that. You can't go out any better, especially for him. He could be the mayor of Knoxville. So I'm okay if that would happen. I think, a la Lynn Paxton, Fred Raymer did that, National Open. So did Paxton. I don't think that's, now everybody knew Fred Raymer was going to retire. It was going to be his last year, but if Brian Brown did that, I think it'd be epic. And I think they'd tear down the stands.
We need more sprint car drivers in and around a public office. So Brian Brown, you should probably get your mayor paperwork out. Thanks NASCAR for the night races because it always rains on night races.
We'll see.
It has been a trend recently. Very many late nights covering rainy NASCAR races.
Well, here's the thing though with that. Raining early doesn't help.
No.
Because they will wait it out. And I know there's this conspiracy theory out there that NASCAR looked and said, ooh, we're going to keep Kyle away from the Knoxville Nationals. Trust me, that didn't happen. NASCAR doesn't care.
No.
They're not sitting in the offices down at Daytona going, those damn Knoxville Nationals. How do we keep Kyle away? Come on. They don't care.
Jeff, appreciate all the hard work. This was a good idea.
Yeah, we have some bugs to work out. Some things on my end and maybe just some graphic wise I want to try, but a good first run, but it could be better. We'll try and improve on it.
And then a few more here and we'll call it a perfect day. Todd also believes that gravel wins it all this year.
That's who my money's on.
Should be Shane Golobic on Larson backup duty. I miss him running the Nationals.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad guy to run it, but I don't think he's going to come in all the way from California and do that. He also has a business now, and I think he's more focused on that.
Maybe Justin Sanders or Jet Barnes for 57 duty.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Jet Barnes. I just don't think those guys are going to come in from California to possibly race. That's an expensive ticket to just come and possibly race.
Yeah, now we're just fantasy booking who's going to be in the 57. So I think that's pretty much all for the chat for the evening.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on this special edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com live show. The first look at the qualifying rosters for the Knoxville Nationals this year. Appreciate everybody, joining the chat and staying with us as long as you did. We'll work on it. Also, if you like the content on our YouTube channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Get your tickets for the Knoxville Nationals as well. They're going fast. It won't be around long. Also, if you like the content on our YouTube channel and want more, go to SprintCarUnlimited.com. We're giving a year's subscription away at a 20% discount now through the Knoxville Nationals. Just use the coupon code SCUMOM 2026 at checkout, and you'll get it for only $28 a year. That's going to wrap it up, and we'll be back next week with another live show. Stay tuned.
This is Tony Bachoven, the voice of the Knoxville Raceway, and the granddaddy of them all is getting closer. It's the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's. Tickets are available now by going to KnoxvilleRaceway.com. Order now, and let's go racing!